Hi everybody, welcome back to the question of the week segment. Are you dealing with your child who's refusing to eat certain types of foods, for example, fruits, vegetables, or meats? Or is your child only willing to eat one certain type of food item, for example, mac and cheese? If mealtime is something that you're struggling with all the time, this video is just for you.
Hi, we are Henry and Sally from Unlocking Autism Bridge Kids.
We're here to help parents and educators better understand child development, autism, and neurodiversity.
If that sounds helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights.
Hey everybody, my 8-year-old son has always been really fussy with his food. He was iron deficient, so we had to supplement for a while, but I'm trying to get him to eat red meat, just little strips of stir fries and things like that. But he really struggles to chew and swallow the meat. Any advice? This is a very common question that a lot of parents with autistic kids ask, and you're certainly not alone. Picky eating is very common, but the good news is that there are ways to help without stress, meltdowns, or forcing foods. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 different strategies that can make meal times a lot easier and a lot less stressful. So let's talk about these strategies. Picky eating in autistic children isn't just about preference. There can even be sensory sensitivities, difficulties with texture, oral motor challenges, and even anxiety around new foods. If your child struggles with chewing and swallowing meat, it can possibly be due to 1. Sensory aversion. For example, the texture of meat can be overwhelming for the child. 2. Oral motor difficulties. Perhaps some children may have weak jaw muscles or find meat harder to chew and swallow. And 3. Routine-based eatings. Perhaps some kids may gravitate towards familiar foods and may feel anxious or feel anxiety towards unfamiliar foods. Are there any other common factors leading to picky eating? Please comment down below in the video. I would love to know. The good news is that there are ways to gradually expand the repertoire of these types of foods without stress. So let's talk about these below strategies. Tip number 1, modify the texture. Since chewing and swallowing seems to be a challenge, try offering meat in different configurations. For example, ground beef instead of strips, think about mixing it into pasta sauce or soft meatballs. Or shredded beef or chicken, maybe it's softer and easier to chew than steak or strips. Or slow cooked meats, these tends to be a little more tender and requires less effort to chew. And blended protein sources. Considering meat mixed into mashed potatoes or blended into soup. So these are all the different types of configurations of the same type of food that you can consider. Tip number 2, pairing with preferred foods. Pairing new foods with familiar favorites can help. If your child loves pasta, why not try mixing finely grounded meat into the sauce? Or offering a meat-based pasta like lasagna or blended textures. Or even using fun shapes or skewers to make it even more visually enticing for them to eat. Tip number 3 is to think about using small, manageable portions. It's a really good idea to start with tiny portions, even just a single bite. You can always use what we call the 1-bite rule. No pressure, just exposure. Or you can also try out fun presentations, cutting meat into tiny cubes and adding a dipping sauce so that it looks visually appealing to the child. Also, we can use what we call food chaining. So for example, if your child likes chicken McNuggets, you can try transitioning to start with homemade nuggets and then lightly breaded meat and so forth. Tip number 4 is to provide positive reinforcement, positive rewards. So praising efforts, not just outcomes, can really help the child build confidence. Why not try, "Whoa, you've tried a new food today, well done, awesome job." Or you can try rewarding small progress with a non-food incentive. For example, stickers, story time, extra time before bedtime, and so forth. Finally, tip number 5 is to make mealtime experience a low-pressure activity. So forcing or pressuring a child to accept a new food usually backfires. So instead, let's think about keeping meals relaxed, making it a family affair, making it something that your family would enjoy, and let them decide. And it's really important to keep avoiding punishments or bribes. Instead, just use gentle encouragement. And finally, it's also important to offer these new foods consistently, even though if they don't like them right away. I think consistency, influencing it, getting them to be exposed to these new foods, I think is really key here. So if your child has severe aversions to texture, color, taste, and so forth, or gags frequently or refuses whole food groups outright, it might be helpful to consult maybe a speech therapist for oral motor difficulties, or occupational therapist for sensory challenges, or a dietitian for balanced nutritional support. Of course, this is not a one-size-fits-all solutions, but I really hope these strategies can be really helpful to you. With patience and creativity, I hope this would help you with expanding your child's diet in a way that really makes them feel safe and makes it more comfortable for them. Remember, progress takes time, and every small step is a victory. And if you've dealt with these type of picky eating in your household, let's share some ideas. And feel free to drop a comment below with the things that worked out really well for you. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this helpful. And see you all next time. Goodbye.